Okay, I'm trying to make a green bean casserole and I can't seem to find my ingredients. My girlfriend asked us over for dinner tonight and she's making a fabulous ham, and all she requests is that we bring over a casserole, but I can't find the ingredients. Well, I'll tell you, I'm finding things that don't belong in here. Where's the sock when you need it? Oh, look at even Philadelphia cream cheese. You know, my kids are probably spreading this on their crackers after school, their favorite treat. Well, you know, I'm just not finding what I need, so I think I need to improvise and come up with my own new recipe. Well, I do have a can of evaporated milk. That should be a good start. Let's see what we have in the fridge here. Of course we have our Philadelphia cream cheese. I always keep this on hand. It always gets me out of so many troubles. And let's see, I have a nice sweet onion. I have some mushrooms. I have some butter, and I have even the green beans. So you know what? I think that we are going to create from scratch our own original green bean casserole. Okay, so we have all of our ingredients here. You know, my husband's actually going to be quite relieved because he really doesn't care for green bean casserole. At least not the traditional one. He really doesn't care for those little mystery chunks, you know, that they call mushrooms, and those real fatty, crunchy onion things that you put on the top. And of course, you know, those gray green beans that come out of the can. Ew. I really don't blame him. You know, I'm going to make something that's going to have so much more flavor, that's going to be better for you than all that processed soup. And we're going to use our Philadelphia cream cheese to make a cream cheese custard. Now, I'm also going to share one other thing with you. Totally honest here, I've never made this recipe before. I'm totally winging it and making it up as we go today. But I know that if I have Philadelphia cream cheese, it's going to be great. You know, even last night I ran out of heavy cream and I was making a pasta sauce, and I reached for my Philly cream cheese. It was absolutely delicious. It saved the day. So that is going to be the highlight of this beautiful creamy green bean dish. So let's get started. I think what I'm going to do first is go ahead and cook my green beans. They are frozen right now, so I'm going to put them in the microwave for about 4 or 5 minutes in a microwave safe bowl. Okay, I took out my green beans at 4 minutes, and I decided they're not quite cooked enough. I am using a whole pound of green beans, and they're frozen, so I'm going to go ahead and cook them for about 4 minutes longer. You know, I wanted to do this because this is really how I cook in the kitchen. I like to add my own little flavors and kind of shake things up every once in a while. And a lot of times I do run out of things. You know, I'm a busy mom, and I always like to find substitutions. And sometimes I come up with something that is absolutely brilliant. I think this is going to be one of them. Now, I started chopping away at that big, giant sweet onion. And let me tell you, it is big. Now, a quarter of that onion, I went ahead and kind of diced up kind of small because I'm going to cook that with my sliced mushrooms I decided for the filling. But on the top, to replace those store-bought crunchy onion thingamajigs, I'm going to actually caramelize my onions, and I'm going to do that until they turn nice and sweet. I think that is going to be so much better than those old-fashioned crispy things. Now my onions are all happy and cooking away on the stove in that nice, beautiful butter. They're starting to smell absolutely wonderful. You know, I don't know about you guys, but I love onions. I don't even want to eat a hot dog or hamburger unless I have onions on them. So in this pan, I'm going to go ahead and put that remaining half stick of butter right into there. I'm also going to add that quarter of that diced sweet onion right into the pan. And then I'm also going to add my sliced mushrooms. I have 16 ounces. I'm just going to plop these in here, put them on the stove, and cook these until they start to get nice and soft. Shouldn't take very long, maybe about 10 minutes. Now I decided to make a cream cheese custard topping for the green beans and mushrooms. Now I think this will be absolutely wonderful and be so much better than that condensed soup. Now, I'm going to confess a little here. I have made this cream cheese custard before and topped other vegetables with it. And I know it's absolutely fantastic, so I'm very confident in this part here. So I put 2 blocks of cream cheese, 8 ounces apiece, so that's 16 ounces. And I put it in the microwave just to soften it a little bit, just for about 30 seconds. I'm running out of time here. So now I'm going to take my can of condensed milk, and this is 12 ounces. I'm going to pour this in a bowl. Then I'm going to go ahead and break 2 eggs. Then I'm going to get my hand mixer out and mix this all up till it's nice and creamy. Okay, now that looks good. This is nice and light and creamy. Now it's time to assemble our green bean casserole. So let's start by using a glass baking dish. Now I sprayed this earlier with a little bit of non-stick cooking spray, but I want my casserole to come out nice and not have a lot of mess. I'm just going to pour these beautiful mushrooms and onions right into the bottom. This is going to taste so much better than, you know, those little pastry chunks in that soup. Now I'm going to add my green beans. And look they're actually green. Can you believe that? Who knew? These are going to be so good. They're still a little crisp. They're going to cook a little bit more in the sauce. They're nice and fresh. So good. Now, I want to season these up a little bit. I'm going to put about a teaspoon of salt, a couple grinds of some fresh pepper, and let's stir this all together. This is going to be so nice. You know, I like to have nice bright colors and things I make, and I like people to see what they're actually eating and know what they're eating. So I think this is going to be a nice surprise for everybody. Now I'm just going to kind of level this off. Next I just have to pour on my cream cheese custard. Yum! Now this looks so good. I think everybody's going to like this better than that old-fashioned casserole, don't you? So now I'm going to take this, and I have already preheated my oven to 400 degrees. And so I'm going to put this casserole in there. Before I do that though, I want to get my Parmesan cheese and sprinkle a little bit on top. This is going to kind of give me a nice little golden layer of crispiness. So nobody's going to miss those fried onion rings. There we go. Okay, off and into a 400 degree preheated oven. My green bean casserole came out of the oven and it's nice and golden brown. It's bubbling all around the edges and the custard is nice and set. So I know it's ready to go. Now, I have already taken my caramelized onions and spread them all over the top of this casserole. They are absolutely delicious and sweet. You know, I always find it amazing that you can take something so strong and harsh like an onion and cook it slow in butter and it completely changes its taste. These are so sweet you would just swear there's sugar in them. So now I want to add a little freshness. I want something to jump out and say, hey, I'm out of a can. I am fresh and homemade. So I'm going to sprinkle some freshly chopped parsley that I picked from my garden. And you know, I think this is going to be absolutely amazing. Okay, for the moment that I've been waiting for, I'm going to go ahead and give this wonderful green bean casserole a try. Now, right off the bat, you can see how beautiful all that creamy cream cheese custard is. It just coats all those vegetables, and the fragrant caramelized onions, oh, they smell absolutely beautiful. I'm going to get a little taste of this. Wow. Now that is really good. Yeah. I think all my friends or family are just going to love this dish today. You know, this is just a good example of how Philadelphia cream cheese can really get you out of a bind. You know, next time you run out of heavy cream or sour cream or condensed milk, why don't you give Philadelphia cream cheese a try? I think you'll be surprised on how it can really spark up the traditional dishes that you're used to making and really transform them into something special. So tonight, I want you to give this one a try. I think you're going to love it.